The scripture today is Corinthians 3, 1 through 9. I find it very interesting. I have never read it myself before today. Of course, that's not good, right? And I'm looking forward to Pam's sermon on it because I think it's confusing. That's just me. Brothers and sisters, I could not address you as people who live by the Spirit, but as people who are still worldly, mere infants in Christ. I gave you milk, not solid food, for you were not yet ready for it. Indeed, you are still not ready. You are still worldly. For since there is jealousy and quarreling among you, are you not worldly? Are you not acting like mere humans? For when one says, I follow Paul, and another, I follow Apollos, are you not mere human beings? What, after all, is Apollos? And what is Paul? Only servants through whom you came to believe, as the Lord has assigned to each his task. I planted the seed. Apollos watered it, but God has been making it grow. So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who makes things grow. The one who plants and the one who waters have one purpose, and they will each be rewarded according to their own labor. For we are co-workers in God's service. You are God's field, God's building.
You're right, Kay. If it is written by Paul, the word confusing is right beside of it. This is a scripture by Paul. Look at this. Isn't this great? This is my great-nephew, Lincoln. I just think this is the most adorable picture. And since it's my sermon, I get to let you look at his picture the whole time. I'd love to take him as my own, honestly. I'd love to just take him and raise him as my own, but that's not my role now in his life, is it? That's his parents' role. My niece, Autumn, and her husband, Luke, are his parents. He has an older sister, Amelia, equally cute. He has such a wonderful personality from the videos that my niece sends me, and he has so much learning left to do, as Lily told us about her little brother. I'm just really happy to be a small part of whatever his journey of learning and growing unfolds to be. It's funny how when you have a baby, everyone is suddenly an expert on how you should take care of it. Remember that? But really, no two babies are alike. And each baby has to be cared for slightly differently than other babies. I'm sure that Lily's dad takes care of her little brother slightly differently than he did her. I remember being fascinated when I was a new mother with how everyone suddenly knew how I should be Jake's mom. But then soon enough, I found myself offering new mothers advice as if I was somehow now an expert on how they should take care of their own. It's a dangerous territory to tread in, and no one ever can really walk in another parent's shoes, nor should they. But this scripture isn't really talking about parents. It's actually talking about growth, and how we all grow differently and are exposed to our faith differently, just like babies are different in what they want and need in life and at what time they want and need it. And because it's written by Paul, you're right, Kay, it's always confusing. It just is. The metaphor of a baby being fed milk rather than solid food is important for Paul here. It's amazing the way he uses metaphor to kind of get to the heart of the matter. It's also amazing what a long time a baby can be completely nourished and satisfied on just mother's milk or formula. They don't need solid food nearly as quickly as we would like to give it to them, do they? And there's all kinds of advice about that, right? And so it is with our faith, actually. We must journey on our own timetable and not force a growing understanding of faith that we're not quite ready to absorb. Paul's talking about maturing in the faith here. He's making a point of saying that being a Christian is a lifelong lesson. He's saying, in essence, that we don't graduate from Sunday school one day and know everything there is to know about Jesus' message to us. That we don't go to seminary for 3 or 4 years and graduate with a Master of Divinity degree and know everything there is to know about Jesus' message to us. That it takes a lifetime to walk in the way of Christ. That our struggles will be ongoing and sometimes relentless. We will learn a little here and learn a little more there, but there will always be something that we do not know. So we come to our faith like babies being fed milk and no solid food. That's the beginning of our journey. And gradually we are able to take little bites of solid food, know more and more about our faith and what we should be doing as God's children. Then we try different types of food. And all the while we're experimenting and growing and changing and challenging ourselves in what it means to be Christian. Another thing that's challenging about faith development is it's not a straight line up. It's very cyclical and spiral. Everybody here probably has experienced that to some degree. And it's important to know how little we know, right? To know how little we know. In fact, we can be 9 or 90 and both be at the same level of understanding about God. In fact, I often find that the youngest among us have the most profound sense of the awareness of God and the divine. Some of us start to get a little hardened and more cynical and analytical as we age. And sometimes faith is different than that. Faith is about suspension of what we think we know with our heads and recognizing instead what we know we feel with our hearts. We also learn in the scripture that we can't seem to erase that human condition. And so we always have quarreling surrounding our faith walks with one another. Just like small children on the playground arguing over who gets what toy or who gets to swing first, Christians tend to argue over who has the right answers about faith, about community, about our life together. One group of people believes X to be true about church, mission, purpose. The other group believes Y to be true about church, mission, purpose. Kay and I were chatting about this morning, and I said, from the very beginning, there have been all sorts of different beliefs about Jesus and what his salvation means for us. From the very beginning of the early church, there's been arguments in the faith. And so rather than continuing to grow their faith in the early church and even now, communities often just shoot darts at one another. Sometimes people within communities do that as well. But Paul reminds us that no one has all the answers without God being in the center. And Paul reminds us if God is not at our center, no answers will ever come. In verse 7 of this scripture he says, "So neither the one who plants nor the one who waters is anything, but only God who gives the growth." A reminder to us that the most important first step in our faith voyage is fully relying on God and not on our own understanding of faith. And that's a really hard thing to do. Almost none of us do it all the time, and most of us don't do it all that well any of the time. Fully relying on God and not on ourselves. Allowing God to lead the way in this faith walk and not think that our way is the way it's supposed to be. It's also important, though, to not allow someone else to stray us from what we feel is the right path to take. To stop and look within and listen deeply for the path that God and God alone wants us to take. And that's not easy. Just like caring for a baby, right? You might think you know exactly what you should do to take care of a baby. But he or she will let you know if they have a different idea about what they need, right? Everyone can tell stories of taking care of babies, of children, and being absolutely flabbergasted that you cannot figure out what's best. It even happens when they're 22, right? Just when you think you've figured out a sleeping pattern for a baby, for example, it changes. Just when you think you've figured out what foods they like, as Lily suggested, they sling the food around and throw it across the room with a spoon. Just when you think you've finally figured out anything, you suddenly realize how little you know. So, Paul has a fantastic metaphor here for the faith journey. Child-rearing is the perfect metaphor for the confusing circumstances of trying to figure out what God wants from us in our lives. And it doesn't matter whether you've raised your own children or not. Anyone who's watched children grow and change gets this principle. You never really know anything until you know it. I went to see a play at Denver Center over the weekend, Christians. It's a complex tale of faith journeys, the faith journey of the pastor and the people within the congregation and the associate pastor, and they're all in kind of different places when he reveals to them this new found idea he has about heaven and hell. The story is complex and sad and interesting, and it's kind of weird to watch because it all takes place in a setting that looks exactly like this, pretty much. So it's like watching a play about what we do here all the time. I had some disconcerting moments when I was watching it, actually. But when you think about what that show was talking about a pastor believing one thing and some of the congregation saying, I can't believe that, and his wife saying, I don't know about that, and his associate pastor rejecting that, why wouldn't that be the case? Why wouldn't we all be in different places on our faith walk together? And why do we have to split and walk away from one another when we have disagreements? Faith walking is a complicated journey with twists and turns and unexpected moments. One that has unsettling experiences, one that has many questions. I remember when I was in seminary, Susan and I went all the way through seminary together, so I remember talking to her about this before. You'd ask a question in one of the Bible classes, and just about any of the Bible professors would answer at some point along the way, well, we really don't know. Well, we really just don't know. And that's a tough pill for some of us to swallow, right? We don't really know what. Anything? Why are we here? Right? We don't really know the answers, is what they were saying, about why we're loved by a God who created a world of magnificence. Oh yes, we can explain the science of the universe and its ongoing created order, and thanks be to God for scientists who have brains that can do that for us. But we can't really explain the majesty and the heart of it. Except we all know that when we see a brand new little baby with sparkling eyes and that sense of wonder, we too get a sense of wonder that overcomes us. And we all know that somehow, some way, somewhere, there is a miracle at work. There's a soul growing, there's a life building, and it happens one bite of baby food faith at a time. Amen.